Hello, everyone. Today, I'll be presenting our paper Expo, which is Execution Performance Profiling and Optimization for Cyber-Physical Systems Co-Simulation as a Service. My name is Yogesh Barve. My co-authors on this paper are Himanshu Nima, Zhongwei Kang, Hongyang Sun, Aniruddha Gokhale, and Thomas Roth. So cyber physical system comprises also of different safety critical applications such as smart city, smart manufacturing, transactive energy. Um, all these safety critical applications requires assurance guarantees. Simulation offers attractive platform to the developers to simulate different assurance test cases. However, a single simulation platform may not be sufficient to capture the multi-domain aspects of cyber-physical systems such as network, thermodynamics, physics, computation, and so on. Hence, there is a need to integrate multiple such domains and the simulators from these different domains to have a large virtual view of the CPS system. So co-simulation provides an attractive platform which enables us to integrate multiple heterogeneous simulators that can simulate a large virtual world. The co-simulation technology that we are leveraging over here is based on an HLA middleware. The HLA middleware provides a wrapper so that it enables us or the simulators to coordinate time synchronization, passing of messages, and other um, uh, commonly used phenomena and use cases for uh, enabling co-simulation activity. One of the computations that happen in the co-simulation is called as a bulk synchronous parallel computation. So in a bulk synchronous parallel computations, what happens is like you might have multiple simulators that are performing certain computation tasks for a given logical simulation clock. So as can be seen in this figure here, you have different kind of simulators that are performing different computation activity for a given time clock. And at the end of the simulation, what happens is, or for a given logical clock, what happens is the update state is transmitted to all the other simulators. So we can see that there is a computation phase and a communication phase. And at the end of this communication phase, there is a barrier synchronization phenomena wherein all the simulators, they just wait on until computations from all the rest of the simulators are complete, as well as it has received messages from all the other simulators. Once that is complete, the barrier synchronization opens and the next iteration of logical clock execution begins. This kind of computation is also found in distributed machine learning systems such as the one that is using parameter server. So in this BSP kind of co-simulation execution, we see a phenomena called as stragglers. So let's see with an example over here. So as I mentioned, we are using an HLA middleware. So in an HLA middleware, the terminology for each simulator is referred to as a federate. So on the left, you can see there is 3 simulators, federate 1, federate 2, and federate 3. The federate 3 takes the fastest computation, so it has the least execution time. Federate 1 has the slowest computation, that's why it takes the most execution time. So what's happening is the federate 3 is just waiting on federate 1 until it hears back an update, and this becomes a barrier synchronizer phase. And here we can see that the Federate 3 is just waiting on Federate 1. So it cannot make any progress until the Federate 1 has completed its execution. So our goal in this paper is to minimize this wait time for the fastest simulator, perhaps by exploring resource scheduling strategies. So as we know, like some of the application might take an advantage of speed up when you have more resources assigned to it, right? So more the resources that you give to that, the more would be the faster would be the execution time. But we also have to be cognizant of the fact that more resources also means more procuring costs for those resources when these kind of simulators or co-simulations are using cloud-based kind of execution environment. So let's look at the challenges. So the first challenge is to figure out what should be the resource configuration for each of the federates so that our wait time is less and our co-simulation make span and the cost both are less. Because as I just mentioned, the more resources means more cost, but more resources also means faster execution. But we don't want to provide more resources unnecessarily to an already faster simulator. So how to take into account all these factors is a challenge. The second challenge is like uh, when you are trying to execute these co-simulations, we want to ensure that when we are doing the deployment of these co-simulators, which are comprising of these different federates, we want to ensure that all of them are deployed. We don't want a scheduling strategy wherein you deploy one at a time. So we need a mechanism for gang scheduling. And this use case just highlights the uh, the disadvantage if we do like one by one kind of strategy. So we have the runtime platform on the right over here, and you can see there are just three resources available, and we can just deploy three of them, but the rest of them just remains in the queue. So we want to not fall into a trap of the simulation stall. Since we are talking about co-simulation, these are distributed in nature. So how to go about doing like performance profiling of this simulation when they are not necessarily deployed on a single host, but distributed fashion is a challenge. And similarly, we also got to tackle the accidental complexities that are involved in provisioning the software probes for doing all these measurement kind of strategies. So we want to have a mechanism to address the complex accidental complexities as well. So we present our solution, which we call as EXPO, which is Execution Performance Profiling and Optimization for Co-Simulation as a Service Platform. First, we talk about the workflow. So the workflow comprises of three phases: the design phase, the profiling phase, the runtime phase. In the design phase, the user constructs his simulation experiment that needs to be deployed. So using the model-driven engineering technique, we um, do the code generation, automatic code generation for not only the boilerplate code for this for writing the simulation, but also the performance tracing code gets generated, and the configuration for that simulator also gets generated. These simulators are run in a Docker-based environment. In the profiling phase, we have a simulation execution engine which runs one federate at a time and measures its execution performance with respect to varying resources. All this information is stored in a database, and this information is then used by our resource configuration tuner, which determines what amount of resources need to be assigned to each of the federate of this simulation. And in the runtime phase, we have the simulation job, wherein the job is submitted to a deployment manager. Deployment manager then submits it to a job scheduler based on the job scheduler has the gang scheduling scheme also. So based on that, it goes ahead and deploys that on the simulation runtime platform. This figure just shows here the kind of a code snippet that gets automatically generated by our tool kit. And on the lower bottom of the slide, you can see how the execution time is varying for the different federates of the simulation. And using this instrumentation mechanism, we can see how to go about doing performance profiling of these distributed simulation at scale. Coming to the resource configuration tuner algorithm, as we mentioned, our goal is to not only minimize the make span, but we want to have a linear combination minimization of the make span as well as the cost. So here it is represented as G. So what we do is initially we first find out which is the slowest federate, and we increment more resources to that particular federate, and then determine whether we have reached the end of the resource, like whether we have exhausted all our resources or not. And this iteration just uh, goes in the loop until we have found out the resources or we have reached at the top of our resource limits for assigning to that single federate. We use a first fit decreasing algorithm for scheduling, for doing the game scheduling. It just ensures that either all the federates are deployed or none of the federates are deployed. So more details of this can be found in the paper. This presents the overall architecture of co-simulation as a service platform. Again, the details of each of these components is clearly defined in the paper. Coming to the experimental setup, we did our evaluation of our Expo work on 7 compute nodes. All these nodes are homogeneous in nature. We use Docker Swarm with multicast networking plugin called View. And the way we evaluated our strategy was we use applications from a Parsec benchmark, and these applications are representative of scientific applications, computations happening in scientific applications. So we have chosen Frequency Mine, Black-Scholes, and Ferret. So we run these applications in for a total of 100 steps. With respect to the software implementation, we are using Portico HLA, and we have chosen the BFD scheduler for our experiments. So to compare the executions of the performance of Expo against the other strategies. So what we did is our Expo was able to find the resources of 4 cores for the ferret, 1 core for the Black-Scholes, and 4 cores for the frequency mine. We evaluated this against a baseline method of least configuration, wherein all the tasks were given 1 core, all the federates were given 1 core. This means that this configuration would have the cheapest cost, but also would mean the lowest performance. And finally, we would also have federates max configuration strategy, wherein all the federates are given 10 cores each. So this would have a max cost as well as the highest performance. This graph over here shows the performance of Expo, shown in the blue arrows over here. Here you can see that the execution time for the Expo resource configuration compared to the other strategies. So Expo is giving a better performance than the max, than the least configuration. And also in terms of cost, the Expo has cost which is comparable to the least configuration strategy. So the lessons learned or the key takeaways from this is the straggler mitigation is a very important thing that needs to be considered for co-simulation. Otherwise, the performance of the whole co-simulation can be affected. We also have to be cognizant of the fact that more the resources also means more cost that goes into procuring those resources. Um, our future work would explore the edge-based co-simulations for situations such as, or scenarios such as digital twins, which allows you to do real-time simulations right at the edge of the simulation. So with this, I would thank everyone for attending this. Please, if you all have any questions, let me know. Thank you.